What if, for once, I stopped listening to the voices that have shaped me to live a life that at best is average? What if, for once, I had the courage to dream again, to live again, and entertain the inner child that yearned for exploration? For once, I could make a difference. One time, to invest into the desires that have laid dormant. One time, not to dwell in the bondage of mediocrity, but one time to venture into uncharted waters whose ripple effects will be felt for generations. What if the sign I'm waiting for is now present? Today, the best time to act on my convictions. Today, where I can set my life in another direction to change my course for more than a destination, but for a journey. More than the end, but for a new beginning, a path for greatness where I daily laugh in the face of the following enemies: insecurity, fear, guilt, and regret. Not to stay in a lane, but continuously making new paths for more to follow. One time in my life to ascend, one time in my life to extend and claim fulfillment. Because for once in my life, I will step over my excuses. My daily quote: to live above the status quo. And walk the valley of the unknown. I will today defeat the illusion of can't and won't, and say I can and I will. One time in my life to manifest the courage to live now, not tomorrow, to be alive now. No more maybes, but let today be the day I stand and fight. Now is the time, because I only have one life.
One time in your life, why every black man should come down one time before you be put in this earth to see how this culture treats you. Come on, man. It's heaven.
Welcome to BMO Radio with your host, Eric Spencer, president of the Black Man's Option.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of BMO Radio. As you can see in the title, this is a celebration for us here over here at the Black Man's Option. We have achieved a milestone that we set out for ourselves when we first took over the organization, and that is reaching 1,000 subscribers. And I know a lot of people, they say that maybe that's not a big milestone to cross. People have 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 subscribers, but for us, it's a big deal. It's a stepping stone, and it shows that we're moving in the right direction. We're getting more people that are engaged with what we're trying to say and do. Looking at some of the things that we want other people to see pertaining to travel, especially black men that are traveling and exploring their options overseas. This is a long time coming for us. The admin team that has been working for the last 2.5 years to get us back on track has done a commendable job, and I definitely have to salute them. So for us, 1,000 subscribers is a big deal. It's a stepping stone for us, and it lets us know that we're doing the right thing. Tonight, this is basically an open mic, open chat celebration to talk about some things that are going on with us. Now that we have completed our Thailand event, we're able to move forward with things that we're going to do with this group. Some of you may or may not know about it, so we want to let you know what's going on. But before I go into that, I want to say thank you to everybody that has subscribed to our channel. And everybody knows that, or if you may not know, that this is Charles Tyler's legacy group. We've been in the works of trying to get the original channel back, and we're having to go through some red tape to get that. But hopefully sometime by the end of the year, we'll have that under our possession as well. But in the meantime, this is his legacy group. This is where we are continuing what he started back in 2014 and have continued to do on up to 2023. 9 years in the making, and we're still here. So I want to thank everyone that has supported us on our networking events, supported us and showing up at the meetups that we've had in various cities, for the people that have purchased the merchandise, that have asked people to subscribe to the channels, brothers that have donated and subscribed to the channel and shared with others. I want to say thank you, because we know what it took to get here, and we wouldn't be here without you. And I know Charles would be very happy to see what we were able to do in his absence, because it was an uphill battle for us. I'm not a YouTuber. I never set out to be a YouTuber. This was something that was put in my lap. And as you say in the football, if somebody pass you the ball, you either pick it up or run with it, or you fumble it. Well, I'm not fumbling nothing. I'm going to pick up and run with it. And I have a team of people that have done an excellent job in helping me carry the load. So first and foremost, let me say thank you to the admin team. For people that don't know who the admin team are, there are 12 of us in total, 11 whom some of are you going to be on tonight, that have been behind the scenes and then have been supportive, contributing to what you see before you. I want to say thank you to them, because if it wasn't for them, we would not be able to do what we're doing here. We would not be able to be where we are tonight. We'd not be able to celebrate this milestone for us. And I know we have a lot of naysayers. We have a lot of things that people say that, oh, well, Charles is gone, and the other person that was running the group, he's no longer running it, and it was just going to fall to the wayside. But we have demonstrated beyond a shadow of a doubt that that's not the case, that we are up to the challenge, and that we will continue to do what we're going to do and lead from the front, and not sit on the sidelines and watch everybody else talk about doing what they're doing when we're actually going to do it. Now, with that being said, let me just give you a quick overview of what we have in store tonight. I do have some guests that I'm going to bring up, and this is what we call an open mic call-in show. And call in, I mean, you can click on the link that my super producer will provide, and you can come up. And if you want something to talk about, something pertaining to travel or something that's surrounding travel or the group or whatnot, then please feel free to answer it. Ask the question. We are more than happy to answer it. We're very transparent over here. For us, we are the #1 network group that travels. We have receipts. This is not just something we talk and parlay on YouTube to make it look like we're doing something. We're actually doing it. But as far as BMO and the direction that we're going in, now that we have completed our Thailand trip, we will be announcing the next destination. And this destination has been a very big request from a lot of people. Last year, we were able to go to South Africa 2 times. And the interest wasn't as big then because I think a lot of people didn't have the interest in it because it was a destination that was not out of the big 4, which I call the DR, Colombia, Brazil, and Thailand. And they were skeptical about going someplace off the beaten path. Well, now that we have done 2 trips and the interest has grown tremendously, we will be officially announcing our November trip back to South Africa. The dates for that trip will be November 8th through the 19th. If you are in the Facebook group, you'll be getting an official notification here in the next 2 weeks. If not, we will be adding the information to the community tab. But for us, this is a big request. We're going to limit the amount of people that we have on this trip because we're just not capable of handling big groups. So we want everybody to have the opportunity that wants to go. And once we make that announcement, we want to get you people locked in and give us the opportunity to show you South Africa like nobody else has shown you before. And we're definitely excited about that because there's some things that we're going to do when we're also in South Africa. But that'll be something that we're going to talk about in the future. Another thing you're going to start seeing more on this channel, now we're going to start doing a lot more of what Charles really wanted, and that was creating a community of brothers living abroad and also exploring options into how am I going to be able to live overseas, maybe into crypto, passive income, IT work, working remotely. We have people lined up. We're going to start interviewing people and bringing them on to the channel to share with them how they were able to live the life that maybe you want to live, or maybe give you an idea of how you may want to move. The purpose of this channel is informational. We're here to share information with brothers, like-minded brothers that are actually wanting to do the things that we want to do. And our commitment has always been to build a network of expats throughout the world. That's why we call ourselves the network group that travels, because we want to keep interacting with each other outside of us just going to a destination for a few days. And if you are a part of BMO, you know that that's exactly how we operate. Once we get back from an event, we're still in contact with each other. We still talk to each other. We're still asking questions and working together so that we all can achieve our goal, which is to get out of the matrix. Now, I know that might be for everybody, but in reflection to what's happened to us in the past few weeks, we don't need everybody to build. We only need a select few. And this is what we're here to do. We're here to solicit people, a select few that resonates with the message that we put out. And those are the people that we want to build with. So we've selected people that we think are going to help with that vision, and also introduce you to people in other places so that you can start building contacts and seeing the things that we see and start working together with BMO. And like I said, if you haven't joined the Facebook group, go join the group. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and we're even on Twitter. We want to get the message out to as many brothers as we can. And last but not least, one of the things that we set out to do is to convert our current corporate structure into a nonprofit. And we're in the process of doing that. And hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have all that information, paperwork done and whatnot. Because for us, it's all about being a part of a community when we go there. It's not just about us going in there and being a leech. We want to be able to give back. And as a nonprofit, that'll make us more able to do the things that we want to do. So that's part of part of our goal strategy for 2023. But the 1,000 subs definitely helps. Now, I don't want to be too long-winded and whatnot, but I do want to say once again, thank you for the 1,000 subscriber show. And thank you for everybody that has taken the time to listen to the streams. We try to provide as much information as we can. You know, sometimes I come off a little serious, but that's because I want to make sure that you understand the information that we're giving you is beneficial to you. Now, without any further ado, let's get to the best part of the show. This is the call-in portion, and I'm going to bring up on the panel some brothers that are come to help us celebrate and do what we do best. And talk that shit, as we like to say amongst ourselves. My super producer just informed me he's going to be taking care of the business, so I'm gonna step back and let him click on this and handle that, and keep doing what we do. Oh, you missing one. Oh, okay, my fault. Jamel, you didn't want to come up. You just gonna stay in the background? Oh man, okay then. Well, all right then. First and foremost, let me say welcome to everybody. Let me go around and let everybody know who is who and what's what. Up in my to my right, we have the Chocolate Thunder, Mr. Mocha Man himself. Steve,
What up?
Mocha Man Brown. What's going on, Mocha Man?
What it do, man? What's going on? BMO.
Next, we have that man that likes to put in that work. He like to give them broads all kind of headaches and heartaches when he get on the mic. I'm glad me and him was boys. My man Chris Strongart. How you doing, Chris?
What's up, bro?
Good, there you go.
So what's up?
Yeah.
On arc.
Last but not least, we got my man over here in the bottom. He probably got on like 2 outfits. He probably gonna change on us in the middle of the broadcast. Drop down, drop back up. So if y'all see him got a different shirt on, he had to get out of wardrobe. You know, my man G Will. What's going on, player?
What's up, BMO?
Yo.
What's happening?
Yeah, getting fancy over here, man. Hey, man. Yeah. Hey, look, man. I appreciate y'all coming out tonight, celebrating this 1,000 subs. You know, it's a big deal for us because we talked about it getting to that point, and I know it's one of those milestones that pushes the channel in front of more people, along with another milestone, which is the 4,000 hours. But at the same time, we here. We started from the bottom, now we here. So, you know, I'm just happy that we were able to finally get here.
Thanks.
So first and foremost, let me just say this. If you haven't subscribed to Chris's channel, Chris need to be at 1,000 too. Now if you haven't subscribed to Chris's channel, my super producer would drop the link in the chat. Make sure you go over there and subscribe to Chris, because Chris over there, he be letting them bros have it. He over there doing the Lord's work. And the way he do it, I feel like I'm in church sometimes. Sometimes I'm on broadcast with him. I don't know if I'm going to pull out my Cash App card and drop a donation.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Right, man.
Yeah. So let me just ask this. And for the guys that are on the admin team, Mocha Man and G, you were there when we first started back in 2020. So how does it feel for us to be here, knowing what we went through to get here?
It's amazing to me. I mean, I didn't see this, like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
From the moment that the switch started to happen. You know what I'm saying? And we know the events that led to that, but to think about that and then see what this is right now, that's like, I didn't see that at all. And I'm very, very impressed and honored to be a part of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's up from here.
Yeah, you're most definitely right about that. Go ahead, G.
Mine is a little different, man. I always revert back to when me and you was in Bello on that roof talking during the pandemic, seeing the problems that the previous admin was doing, not knowing it would, come to a head on that trip. But I'm not surprised based on the mettle of the men that we coordinated with to basically get our group back. I seen this. I tell you a million times all the time, this is what's gonna happen, and I'm just proud that I'm right about it, and it's coming true, because it was based on the fellas that was in the group. I don't think that previous admin guy knew that he had so many gems, so many upright men, so many extraordinary gentlemen, as you say, that was in that group. So many leaders.
Yeah, I definitely we were underestimated. Now, Chris, I know you came on the first trip that we did in 2021. So you still have had, the 2021, because you came with Big Sexy.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, I'm laughing at Mr. International. Carter is in the building. Made a little comment, but describe what you seen.
I got you.
Yeah,
What I've seen so far.
Yeah, because you basically have been there from the beginning. Because when you first came on that first trip, that was about a 6-month time frame from when we started taking back the group, and you actually seeing the first trip that we did, because you won the first trip that we did in Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, what I've definitely seen the growth. You know what I mean? Because for me, I already knew that the group was legendary. So for me, a lot of things that I was seeing on the YouTube channel, watching from Charles's perspective, watching Charles Tyler, watching his YouTube channel. I never thought that I would be a part of the group. Like I said, I've talked about my journey before. Is I was going through my situation when I was in Texas, and I was trying to figure out what I'm gonna do next. What's my next move gonna be? I wasn't even thinking about traveling. My mind was just on getting myself together, getting my bread up, getting my money right. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of my court situations. So my mind was on getting myself better. And, I wound up going overseas, you know what I'm saying, and behind what I had to do or what I did in the military. So, I started contracting, doing my thing. And then, I took vacation, and, I was taking multiple vacations over to Brazil. And I was following in the footsteps of Charles. And then when I actually came home, and this was because, remember, a lot of people may not know, but I had done multiple trips to Brazil before I even met the group. Yep. So when I came back home to the States for a little bit, I was planning my next trip, thinking about when is the next time I'm going to head over to Brazil. And I randomly hop on Facebook because I never get on there. And then I saw the flyer for the BMO trip going to Brazil. And the first thing that caught my eye was the dancer, what I'm saying, the little the float dancers.
Yeah.
I was saying that y'all putting the flyers, right? That's the first thing that caught my eye. I was like, oh snap. I was like, oh, that's Brazil. I was like, oh, that's Rio. And then that's what caught my eye first. So from that point, I was like, wait a minute, somebody's doing a trip to Brazil. I was like, who is this? And then it said BMO. I was just like, wait a minute, you mean the BMO? Like that BMO? Like for real? So that's when I reached out, and I think I reached out to you first, Eric. I was like, hey, I'm looking to join the trip and this and that, and we set it up. And then basically my flight got delayed a day, crazy enough, and that's how I got wind up getting pushed to be on the flight with y'all. So I met you, I met Big Sexy, I met Coach Grease, you know what I'm saying? And then these are guys that I'm used to seeing on YouTube, and all of a sudden we just met in the terminal. I was like, that's how Grease right there. I'm like, and then we just all sitting around the bar at the terminal, and I'm just like, wait a minute. I was like, look, I see these dudes on YouTube. It's like, I follow their old boy footsteps. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was crazy how it all fell in the the pieces just fell like that. And then so I rolled over with y'all, not even knowing who anybody really was, but we all just started talking and kicking it. And then that's where when we landed and wound up heading down to our Airbnbs down in Copa, that's where I got the ride in the taxi with Grease, and then this me and him started chopping it up, and that's where he just was like, "Yo, man, you know what's going on out here in these YouTube streets." He's like, "You talk a good game, young." He's like, "Hey, bro." He's like, "Hey, you want to do an interview for Frustrated 3?" I was like, "What? An interview for what?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I may not have showed it, but I was jumping around like a schoolgirl. I was like, "What? You want to see this movie?" I was like, "Are you crazy?" Like, because I had just, because I watched the Frustrated. I followed the legacy of Charles. I seen Frustrated. Like, I didn't even know that GM was the one walking with Charles that time when they did that legendary video when they
Yeah.
walked from Copa to Ipanema, which was one of the first things that inspired me to want to walk the beaches of Brazil. Not even knowing that I'm sitting here now, I'm meeting GM. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm meeting all these people that I'm watching on YouTube, and now I'm getting asked to be in the movie, and I'm just like, what? This is nuts, bro. So like for me, and then what I'm saying, seeing everything, seeing how everything has been moving with the group, the growth, the progress, the structure. Like I keep telling people about the structure of BMO is because it's just like there's structure here. You know what I'm saying? There's a way that brothers move, and there's a way that brothers here carry themselves, right? So and I do believe that does separate BMO from the other groups. You know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion. So
Yes.
there is something called structure. There's growth over here, and we're making our moves. We may not be as popular as the other groups on social media, but I think that is also more so a gift because it's like we take more pride into giving out wholesome information instead of just trying to be social media famous. You know what I'm saying? Because
Dude,
brothers here are
say that
moving
again.
on.
Hold
Say it
on, say
again.
that again.
Look,
Not a
Say that again.
popularity contest.
Say that
I
again.
said, we're about order and structure over here more than trying to be social media famous. We're about giving brothers information and stuff that they can use and actually giving good wholesome information and really about the growth of young black men understanding what it's like to get and understand and get to their options instead of just trying to be social media popular, which is why on my channel I be calling some brothers cowards just because of how they move. And it's just like, to me, what do you stand on? And it's so good to see a group that actually stand on what they say they stand on. And that's how you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they said, the cream will rise to the top. The information that we'll give to people and young brothers who want to learn what's up, when they hear our information, they're going to be like, yo, these brothers are really just giving game on traveling. We all ain't out here trying to be social media famous. You know what I'm saying? We all out here rocking in a way that's like, yo, we want to see the growth and we want to see the betterment of young black men. We want to see these brothers get to a place where they say, hey, damn, the BMO brothers was on point and they gave me some good tips and good game. And they're not out here trying to, do certain things that other content creators are doing now to act like it's brand new, where all of us could have been doing it. But guess what? We have morals and discipline, and we weren't doing those things. Now, you got certain brothers running down to certain parts of places we have traveled to, trying to do things and put certain people on camera and interview certain people as though we couldn't have done that before. It's like there's a reason we weren't interviewing those type of females and stuff like that. There's a reason we was not doing that because we have morals that we stood on and said, yo, like, we know the background on what's going on with this, and now everybody wants to run it up and make it a big social media deal to where now, from the reports we're getting, it's flooded with, content creators down there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but anyway, getting back to the group, man, it's just like the group has been growing so much. You know what I'm saying? The trips to Thailand, of course, the frequent in Brazil, and it's just the moves have been major, and it's getting even more. It's even more to come. So that's why I rocks with the group heavy.
Man, most definitely. Let me say a quick shout out to MOT, Man of Tomorrow. I see him in the chat.
Shout
My
out.
man Jay Clyde. What's going on, Jay, man? How you doing? Appreciate you brothers tapping in.
Solid brothers right there, man.
Yeah. MOT, man. Look, I've been watching you for a minute.
Years.
Yeah. So you doing good work over there too. But like I said, and also let me say another thing. let me send another shout out to Edward Anderson. Edward Anderson
Shout out to Ed.
has
Yes,
has
sir.
been a staunch supporter of us, and anytime he gets the opportunity to support us, he does so. And I know he's not here tonight. I know he may see it, may not. I know he's got a lot on his plate, but I definitely want to say thank you for helping support us, because he has been a big supporter of us as well from the beginning. He is a member of the Facebook group, and he does put us out there every chance he gets. So definitely want to say a shout out to him. But to what Chris was saying, Mocha Man, give me your observation of what you've seen in these so-called YouTube streets in the travel community.
I mean, I'm happy about the growth, I think, of the movement. You know what I'm saying? As far as brothers traveling, whether you call that passport bros or traveling men or whatever other name you want to give it. I'm happy about that. You know what I'm saying? Um, the only problem, I guess, is there's a point where when commerce meets personal interests. You know what I'm saying? That's where things kind of get you know screwed up and all kind of stuff starts to happen at that point. You know what I'm saying? But it's inevitable. You know what I'm saying? What I'm seeing at this point is that it's a movement, and now it's something that can be monetized, and people are looking to capitalize on it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a hot topic. It's a hot issue. It's a hot button issue for a lot of people, and you know, there's money to be made, and that's what you're seeing right now. I'm not surprised by it, but it's a little discouraging to some degree, but I mean, it's life. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Well, I
I'm
do.
I'm, I'm more happy than not, because at least it has created a place where the issues that we're having that have brought all this to the front are actually being seen and noticed and talked about. You know what I'm saying? So you got to
Definitely,
take the good with the
definitely,
bad.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I agree with you with that. I think the movement has been hijacked by people that are looking to monetize it. And like I said before, there are people that claim to be quote unquote passport bros that have never left the country, but
Right.
you're monetizing it, which puts you in a position that to let everybody think that you know what you're talking about, so they follow you. But I don't, like I said it before, I'll say it again. There are levels to this, and shout out to Pablo, because like he said, you have levels to it. This is the country club, and this is how we act at the country club. Everybody else, you're free agents, and you're just doing what you want to do. That's cool, but at some point in time, you're gonna fizzle out because there is no structure. You can't just show women. You have to show progress. You have to show production. You have to at least try to have some type of ethic and code, especially when you're moving overseas. Because if you don't, you end up like certain folks that can't go back to Brazil because well, you didn't listen to when the elders were telling you what you needed to do. Hard head and make a soft ass.
Every
You
time.
know, every
Point
time.
taken.
Always.
Point
Yeah,
taken.
yeah. But speaking of that, and I know you guys have heard me say it, and I was going to do a show on it, but after talking to the admin team, we just decided to let it go. But that brings up a good topic to what you were talking about, Mocha Man, is that you have what I call the only fanification of passport bros, because that's what you have.
It's
And
true.
guys brag about how much money they make with that hashtag. I'm
That's
like, but
true.
that doesn't do anything for the cause, and it doesn't do anything for what Charles, Coach Greaves, and others have sacrificed. But the bottom line is, we want you to explore your options. We all understand the dating situation here in America. We know it's not changing. We know that it's not going to get any better. And there are a plethora of YouTubers that have done hours and hours of work displaying that. So we know this is what it is. For us over here, we are quote unquote the blue collar workers that nobody wants, but we
Bus
seem to
drivers.
be, yeah, bus
The bus drivers.
drivers,
Right.
nobody wants, but this is something that we already knew. A lot of people are talking about that and they're saying, oh, wait, I can't believe you said that. But when you in this community, that's something that we've already known. I mean, you can go back to 2016 when Charles was talking to Keisha on the beach back then. So the rhetoric that you're hearing now is not new to us. We already know what it is. That's why over here we don't really harp on it too much, because we already know. For us, it's time for us to move in a different direction. Most of us already here have already made up on our minds that we're going in another direction, that we want to leave the matrix, or at least get a wife from another culture, and explore our options. So we don't have to harp on it. But at the same time, sometimes you do have to put foot in ass when the situation comes to it. And, I'm not a big YouTube person as far as what's going on in the streets. I defer to my man Jamel Around the World and Chris Strongart. They stay up on that. But the situation with Miss Williams and and brothers being blue collared, and I was just listening to my man Pablo. He was just talking about that. Like, hey, look, this is what we have been talking about for decades. It hasn't changed. It's not going to change. Over here, we understand that. So we're moving in a direction to where we want to give brothers options once you have decided. Because you're not going to change the culture here. You're not in a position to do so. And it's better for you to explore your options overseas. And that's what we're going to continue to do. Now, can anybody give me some more information on Miss Williams? Now, I know a little bit from Obsidian and a couple of other YouTubers, and I've seen the video with Ayanna Van Zant, but pertaining to us as Passport Bros, and I'm just piggybacking on what I was listening to pertaining to what Pablo was talking about earlier, that the majority of us are blue-collar brothers, which goes in line with you don't have any respect for us. Does anybody want to speak on that?
Yeah, being a bus driver for the city of San Francisco and in the sheriff department and law enforcement, the real blue collar guys, we don't have time to hear that bullshit that she's talking about. Because if you're a blue collar worker, whether you work with your hands or you sitting in a bus or a truck, we solve problems. We don't sit there and worry about, oh, this road is closed or I got this unruly passenger. We are men of action. And if it wasn't for a lot of the blue collars, she couldn't take her funky ass to whatever building she was getting that funky ass degree that she got. In that building, in that elevator, in that school, that chair, them pins she made. So I just think it's self-hate. And I'm ashamed that she got my last name. That's crazy to me.
That ain't one of your second or third cousins?
I want to see her at the picnic. I tell you that this summer, because she going to get a mouthful.
Yeah, fact. Mouthful. Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the real men that go through this, that do things, that do what we do, we don't have time to sit and debate on if it's right or wrong, if our feelings or whatever. Like you said, we knew this shit was going down in 2002. What did we do about it? My son does something, my kids do something. Don't sit and cry about it. What are you going to do about it? Because you should be able to solve these problems. And that's what blue-collar men do. We solve problems. We see a problem. We see an obstacle. What can we do to overcome this? Instead of sitting there debating, because shit ain't going to get done if that's the case. So it's a badge of honor for me to be a blue-collar worker, because that makes the world go around.
Big
Damn
facts.
right. Damn right.
Big facts.
And Chris, I know you and me, prior military, NCOs are the blue collar workers in the military all day long.
That's right.
Go ahead, Chris.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely. You know what I mean? Being in the military, of course, and then also, being NCOs in the military. That's definitely the blue collar of the blue collar. You know what I mean? And for her to have her opinion, it is what it is. I was actually, out with a chick I know, from out here. We were just hanging out. And then I don't usually bring up red pill stuff. I don't bring up nothing. She brought it up because she just was like, oh, I know you know about this and this with Ebony K. Da, da. And I just was like, all right, so what's up? And then she just was like, well, what's your opinion about it? I said, well, first of all, she's washed up. It's a wrap. She's like 40 now. She just hit 40.
Wall.
It's
40 tomorrow.
She's head first, roller coaster into the wall. So basically she priced herself out of the market for average men, and she's doubled down on that because she thinks she's about to get her another, uh, you know, uh, um,
Another
white
zaddy.
collar, another zaddy, another white guy. You know what I'm saying? Another
It'll
Mr.
never
Cartwright.
happen.
Exactly. She will never be Mrs. Cartwright. Facts. You know what I mean? So the thing is just like she's gonna have to suck it up and understand that she's washed up. And you going over here trying to downgrade brothers or talk down on the average black man, that's fine. We're not looking for you anyway because we're more enlightened about who we are. And for brothers that travel, we're getting our passports anyway. I mean,
We ain't
we're
got
not, we're
time for the
not,
bullshit.
we ain't got time for it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why, honestly, that's why I ain't even do a show on it. You know, because I didn't have too much to say to where I probably would have went off the handle if I'd have went too far because, it's just a lot of the same feminist narratives, a lot of the BS that they have been taught to believe. Like they're just gonna go out here and always be in line with these quote unquote high value $1 million man, whatever. She missed her boat. She missed her ticket. And the thing is that she has become the man that she wants and wants to have because she makes so much. So now, if you're at this level and you got these guys up here who make more than you, are checking for females who are younger than you, more fertile, and all these other things, you
More
are in a
agreeable.
position to where you're gonna have to settle, and you're gonna have to, since you've made yourself a breadwinner. All right, now you're gonna have to get out here and find you a pookie to take care of. Saddle up, hun. This is equality. This is feminism. This is what you wanted. Embrace it. So now
well,
it's incumbent upon these women to suck it up and say, no, you want to be in a position of a man? Fine. Take the position of a man and you go out here and you go get you a stay-at-home male. You go get you a subservient male that you can go ahead and take care of and get sick of and then fly out to Jamaica and still get banged out and cheat on him, and you just be a pass around. You just throw the box around for the next 30 or so years until you get about 65, and then niggas don't even want to smash you anymore. So she did it to herself, to be honest.
Hey, but her hollering.
That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about, Chris. That's what I'm talking about, Chris.
I'm just stating facts, man.
But you know what? Her emotional rants. Her emotional rants is
on
just,
your ass real quick. Real
her
quick.
emotional rants is based on her experience and what she is disappointed in. So how can you put that out for everybody's experience? You saying stuff based on your personal disappointments and throwing it out there and your frustration, and you blamed it on the black man because let's put it this way. She's mad that most black men isn't taking the same type of course that she did, so she can pick them from the lawyer's pool, the executive pool. But we don't have situations like that. Now I'm gonna even keep it more transparent. I was always thinking about how, why these brothers are incarcerated in these times. And it's based on some of their own decisions. But me being as old as I am and experiencing the thing I've experienced, society got it bad for us black men. And I got to applaud men like us that just never took that particular bait to go into that type of category to be on that social step of where, because everybody's going to be on a level. And there's so many spaces there. We just happen to have more spaces in the basement for brothers to do. Now, it's our mentality because it's a lot of us that's lazy and we make those excuses that society does. But that's the backbone of a blue collar man. Is like, look, I know these odds are against me, but I'm going to go, and I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but I'm going to do it anyway because anything is better than the alternative of just saying I give up and being a pookie.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, all those things are things that we've already known, which is why when she said what she said, us over here in the travel community that are really looking to explore our options overseas, we already understand this because we already know. She was just the one to say it, but we already know that you look down on us. Now it's just another label. First it was dusty, broke. Now it's blue collar, or you're lame, or all this other stuff. Things that most men in this community have been called by women that act and look like her.
Right.
So that's why for us over here, it's not a real a problem because we already understand that process. That's why we got our passports. That's why we
weren't
explore our
checking for her no way. You know what I'm
No,
saying? I
exactly.
mean, she's 39. She probably be 40 tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That's how close she is to 40.
Yeah.
You know, for a traveling man, I mean, you already know we ain't checking for that.
For a traveling man, she in the grave right now.
Man,
She
Yeah.
you know what
at
I'm
she
saying?
And
at home with the grandkids.
She's so not
yeah.
on the radar.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Right. And her whole goal is, in the interview that portion I saw of the interview, she didn't say anything about being in love or being married. The only thing she cared about
Right,
was security. So
right,
for her, she just looking for somebody to be a placeholder. And it's like,
yeah.
okay, well, there's no love, there's no affection, there's no nothing. You just want somebody to come in and 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 be the person that you want them to be, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't give them any kind of reward for being that person.
No value.
So no, and that's why, like Chris said, we don't really harp on it too much over here because we understand that every now and then you have to say something that, because sometimes people say stupid shit and it needs to be addressed. But for the
Facts.
most part, we kind of, we look at it, nothing to see here. We're gonna keep moving forward because
We
one
ain't
one
got
one
time
thing,
for the bullshit. Press,
right,
we ain't got
right.
time for that. We too busy getting our stuff together, working, and trying to go right back to where we just came from or
Yeah,
Mhm.
somewhere else.
That's
overseas,
it.
overseas,
That's it.
and the honestly, it bothers them, and we know it. You've seen the vitriol for passport bros over the past year or so, and whatnot. But like I said, that's nothing new to us. Our founder Charles went through it years ago. Coach Greaves, he went through it when he came out with Frustrated in 2011. So this is nothing new, and she's just another version of something that we've already heard, that you ain't shit. So
Pretty
at
much.
this point, yeah, it pretty much you ain't shit.
And you know
So
what's so funny? What's funny? I'm just thinking, like she said, well, if he owns the bus, right? That's her way to disqualify a bus driver. But does she own the company that she writes for? Because
hell
I know she's
no.
a lawyer, but she hasn't practiced in like 10 years. That's what I understand. Does she
And she
own?
worked for a black man.
Right. She right for Byron Allen, in fact, right?
Yeah.
Does she own?
They have the white wife.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, does she own her
So you don't
situation?
qualify.
Yeah.
Touche.
She
Yeah,
got a
Exactly.
job. She got a
Exactly.
job. That's all. She got a job.
yeah,
Big deal.
yeah. So that's why I said over here we understand that, and sometimes things need to be addressed, but we don't want to put too much energy to it because
Right.
we understand what it is. There are better options overseas.
It's just more of the same. That's all. It's more of the same.
I think I think
It's
seventy
just another
percent
day.
of the responses that we give these women, we shouldn't even say anything because that would drive them nuts.
Yeah,
Why
we
waste
already
our
know.
energy? Why waste
Yeah,
our energy on you? You know you saying something to get attention. We should just leave him alone. And I know guys got to make content and get their bag. I'm not saying that, but to keep this stuff going on, it's rhetoric to me. It doesn't make sense. We know what we're gonna do. The ones that got passports, let's just work on us and get the hell up out of here.
yeah,
I'm with
that's
you
it,
on that.
and that's what we're about. We're
Yep.
about getting the hell up out of here. Every now and then, you got to slap somebody on the way out the door,
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, our focus. We want to keep our main focus on moving towards solutions because we are
Right.
blue collar over here. We are
Yep.
working on solutions.
Proud to
We
be. Proud to
Yeah,
be.
exactly. Because those are the men that get things done. People are solution minded. I'm not saying that you can't be white collar and solution but minded, but the vast majority of people in this space are blue collar. When I say this space, I'm talking about black men that are traveling, they're exploring the option, like the black man's option. I would say 85 to 90% of our members are blue collar members.
And I
And
love that, man. I was never in the military, but I was a sergeant in law enforcement, and the latitude and longitude that a sergeant has, because he has the ear of the supervisors, but he's also have the ear of the rank and file. So I can say and do something that would be totally inappropriate that a officer couldn't do. And I love that balance because I'm still with the troops, but I can go head on and tell his supervisor, you can go straight to hell because that shit ain't working. So I love that vile opportunity that I had. So the real backbone of any situation, I think, is the non-commissioned officers, the sergeants, because they've been the grind. They got the most respect out of the rank and file because they've been there.
Yeah, definitely. And anybody that's been in the military, they understand that. There's certain NCOs that can chew out officers and don't get any type of backlash at all, just
Exactly.
because they have the experience,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
they have the
And
knowledge.
I
That's
took full advantage of that. Trust me,
Yeah.
full
Yeah.
advantage.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah.
man Commander Awesome said she was a public defender in Atlanta, so she was broke. She was broke than a bus driver. She trying to trying to look down on.
How about that?
Mad,
Facts.
but we know who they are.
And she couldn't get no man in Atlanta.
Well, I'm just gonna say, like Coach always say, there's a whole lot of plums in Atlanta. Ain't a lot of peaches no more. A lot of
Right.
plums in Atlanta. So,
But look, they got to be
why she got the hell
in
up
her
there.
circles. They had to have some laying on the floor right next to the
Yeah,
damn tree or something.
yeah. But a lot of plums and stuff right there. Some mangoes. So,
Yeah.
mangoes and stuff.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, it all comes back to the reason why we have our passports.
Mm-hmm.
We're choosing to explore our options, and this is just another reason for you as a black man to get your stuff together and to get your passport. And if you don't have the experience of traveling, like I always say, come over here to BMO. We're gonna point you in the right direction. We have experienced travelers, and we're not gonna steer you wrong. We're gonna give you the good and the bad, because there are some good and there are some good, there are some bad, but we want to give it to you so that you can make an informed decision, because we don't want to just sensationalize it. You hop on a plane, run to a spot, and you're lost and don't know where to go, what to do, or how to move. And that's been happening a lot lately. And I call, and that's from the only fanification of passport, bro.
Only fanification. You got it.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's got to be a T-shirt. I don't care what nobody
Yeah,
says.
You know what? I got you, G. I got you. Don't even worry.
That's
I'm
got
gonna
to
cook
be a
some up.
T-shirt. Bro.
I'm gonna cook
Yeah.
some up. Only fanification to passport, bros. Because a lot
Yeah.
of brothers is out here trying to be celebrities and they don't stand on nothing. They got their
Nothing.
structure. Their house is
Nothing.
made on sand. They don't stand on no concrete. They don't stand on their own 10 toes. Because as soon as it get hot in the kitchen, these niggas is running away. You know what I mean? Like I was about to say
Yes.
something, but I'm gonna keep it right there.
No,
You know what I mean?
Oh,
we
These
already
niggas
know.
run
We-
away.
we-
No,
You know what I
you
mean?
got to be yourself.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
no.
Cuz like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean, put the pepper in the gumbo. That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me, man. I'm just like, I can't stand on that. I cannot rock with that mentality of let me go out here and keep doing what I've been doing, but I'm gonna go ahead and change my name, or I'm gonna act like I can just take off my skin or whatever. Because the thing is, you were targeted because you were black, fool, not because you had a certain name. They used your face and they gave it a name that goes with it. So you can't just disassociate the name and say, oh, well, I'm no longer that. And everybody that followed him into that, you know what? Not just him, but there's other people who have done some of the same things. That's why I also rock with Pablo Frescobar, because Pablo, he was like one of the few passport bros that I saw who was standing on it, who said like, nah, bruh, this is who we are. We're the Blue Book gentlemen. We're enlightened men who travel. We're brothers who are looking for better options. It don't matter the name. That's the biggest thing. It don't matter the name. What you're trying to get away from is being black, a man, and traveling.
Right.
Guess what?
Right.
You can
Right.
only stop traveling. You can't stop being black or a man. So suck it up. And don't act like, oh, I'm just going to go out here and just say, well, I'm not a passport bro anymore. You're still a black man who is traveling.
Right.
Idiot.
Right.
That's why, to me, the hypocrisy got up under my skin. Like, to me, that was biting me like an old tick on the dog's ass. I was ready to say something. You know what I mean? I didn't do a whole show about it, but when people asked me questions, I went on ahead and gave my opinion. Because I'm just like, bro, you don't understand how many people are watching us. How many people are watching us? Not just you. There's a whole network, a whole team, veterans, brothers who have been moving around and making this a lifestyle since World War II. Hell, I believe since World War I. So the thing is, don't try to poo-poo and step on all the work that has been done ahead of you. And for brothers, the young brothers who are like him and other guys who just kind of we just going to fall off and call it a different name. I'll tell you something. There's so much
Doesn't work
legacy.
that way.
There's
Yeah, it
there's
doesn't
so
work
much
that way.
legacy into this. There's so many people who have come before. Like I said, even with Charles Tyler. Like I said, I was following in the footsteps of Charles. I never thought I was gonna be a part of the group. I didn't plan it. I didn't set out to be a celebrity. I did me. I was looking to correct myself. I had issues that I needed to have fixed and worked out, and I did what I needed to do. And it's almost like me and the group found each other. I had already been to Brazil. I had already been like 4 trips to Brazil before I had met y'all in the group, and we started traveling together. I didn't know
So
nothing
what's the
about travel.
difference, Strong? What's the difference between you going solo and having your brothers having your back? What's
The brotherhood, the community. Because let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all. I never said this before. That I was on, not necessarily on, but I sympathize a lot more with the whole. It was more like passport. Some people will call a passport pookieism, as far as kind of just sitting in the hotel, kind of just talking to girls here and there, and not really experiencing the country. That's what I was on before I met the brotherhood, because it wasn't like I was trying to go down there and be reckless. It was kind of just all I knew. I wasn't causing no problems. I was just kind of hanging out, hotel. I wasn't really doing anything. But when you meet brothers, veterans, OGs, brothers who network, brothers who have crypto understanding, brothers who have real estate understanding, other veterans, other brothers who are in the real estate, a whole network, then it becomes more than just, oh, I met a few, fine baddies down in a different country. Nah, bruh, you went to a different part of the country. You had a great experience. You networked. You ate, from the fruit of a tree that's gonna give you life as far as what you can do with that. Take it forward and make it a part of your business. Network. Now you are in a circle of brothers that are gonna let you possibly put you in situations to where you can actually live in that country. Because a lot of things about brothers who travel, and G said it before, our main modus operandi when we get back, this is the main mentality of a travel bro, is how in the hell can I get back to where I just left? What do I need to do?
Bingo.
That is the main mode mindset that we have. We ain't worried about no strags over here in the States. We ain't worried about no baby mama drama. We ain't worried about none of that ish. Oh, you missed out on, that concert, all them baddies. Nigga, you don't understand. I've been to Colombia. I've been to Brazil. My lifestyle is in Thailand. I'm on a different page. My brothers tell me the same thing. They like, bro, when you get up and travel, when you get to where you're going, it's like, bro, you ain't coming back. I'm just like, what you mean? They already know. They're just like, bro, you ain't coming back. Because as passport bros, or men who travel, however you want to classify, our mentality is freedom. And we are looking for ways to be free, upwardly mobile men, thinking men, intelligent men, okay, who are looking for a better lifestyle, because the culture here to us has failed. And we're not waiting. We're not going through legislation. We're not going through policy. We're not going through debating with these strags about how many hundreds of years do we need to wait for it all to shift and turn around. Salute to the brothers who are doing that, by the way. Salute to the general manosphere who are out here making policies and talking about certain things. That's good. Those are our adjacent brothers. That's great. But we're not waiting for policy to change. We're about making things happen now. And that's why we're about our best options and getting our asses overseas. Facts.
Yeah, man, and tomorrow exclusively. I definitely say that. Making all your networks from traveling and being around like-minded people. And for us over here at the Black Man's Option, that has been a cornerstone for us, is being around like-minded brothers. And like I always said before, there's levels to this. And when you travel extensively, you see the division between us and other people. And it's definitely apparent. So for us, when we move,
and that's sad.
When you're moving and you got a group of 20 black dudes that are all on the same accord and can move the crowd as we move, then it's a totally different environment.
It is.
And it's also felt by the brothers that see you moving and can't move like that, because they're not on that. They're on something else.
Mm-hmm.
And it resonates with the locals, very much so. Resonates with the locals. Hold on, man. We got somebody else. Somebody just popped up. My man, Ebon Brock. Let me add him on. Hold on for a second. Okay, here. Let me see. Jamel, you wanna add him? Matter of fact, let me just do this. Okay, I got you. Iman, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, man. How you doing, man?
I'm well. I'm well. How are y'all doing, brothers?
We're good, brother.
Man,
Good to see you
Very
again.
good.
man, we
Awesome.
up here
Awesome.
celebrating these 1,000 subs, man. Now I talked to you before, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, we talked
Yeah,
to him
yeah,
Sir.
yeah.
before.
You
We
were
talked
you were
before.
doing the dialysis thing, correct?
Correct.
Okay, then. All right. Yeah, yeah. So how's everything going, man?
Everything's going well, man. I'm still doing me, still doing my thing. Nothing
Good, good.
nothing changes but the rent.
That
So
sounds
what do you
good.
want to share with us tonight, man?
Well, a couple of things. I'm pretty sure as y'all know about the U.S. Federal Reserve banking system is launching its own cash app called Fed Now,
Yeah,
in the shadow of the other CEO that supposedly was
he
not
got
here
he
no
got
more,
deleted.
Got
deleted.
whacked.
Yeah.
My concern is, does this has this changed? Uh, has this whole thing changed uh, the dynamic of traveling and living abroad, and pretty much because that is concerning.
Well, okay, now you know what? That's funny that you asked that question because we actually did a show, I think maybe a month ago, about the
Yeah.
BRICS,
Yeah.
and how they're trying to form a currency and get away from the dollar,
Yeah,
and how that could affect the value of the dollar for one, and the way that you as an expat oversee how you move. Now, now I'm not well versed with FedEx now, or excuse me, I said FedEx now. Is it FedX now?
it's
How do you say
cash
it?
or the Federal Reserve Cash App. Well,
Fed
Cash
now.
Okay,
App.
yeah, yeah. But if it's the Federal Reserve Cash App, I don't want nothing to do with it. That's just my personal opinion. They already got their hands too much in our pockets as it is.
Facts.
And down here in Florida, our governor has made CBDCs illegal. So I don't know how that's going to play out. But as far as for us, that's another reason why we're going to be bringing up people that talk about crypto and investing overseas and being able to buy uh, assets that you'll be able to transfer if you live overseas, because there's no guarantee that what they're going to do is going to work, you know.
True.
And
Yeah,
But
I would just be the last in line to try to do something like that instead of following, for lack of a better word, sheep that say, well, I'm gonna do that because it's much easier or because they say we need to do it. I'm gonna let everybody pass me and be like, go ahead, you can go ahead on and do it. But in the meantime, versify my portfolio to maybe try, like the press said weeks before, maybe you need to get some type of business that will give you that type of BRICS income or whatever type of other currency that's trying to dominate the world. You know, just
yeah,
have both poles and two poles in one pond.
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. Because I've got a couple of people that are going to be, like I said earlier in the broadcast, interviewing, and we want to be interviewing guys talking about crypto, because me personally, I feel like crypto is going to be one of those avenues where they circumvent the dollar. And if
Yeah.
right now there are things that are going on in our country that are trying to stifle crypto, but if you're a person that has traveled, you already see the writing on the wall. Because when we were in South Africa, we were at an upscale mall, Mandela Square, Santa City Mall, and they had a Bitcoin ATM. So other countries are already making that transition. It's just you being in the United States, they want to keep you in a bubble and keep you on the plantation. That's why here we want to give you that information. Like, look, when you travel, these are things that you need to be paying attention to, because those countries are moving towards a digital currency. So what currency are they moving towards? In Africa, they're using a lot of XLM, XRP. And in Latin America, XLM and XRP is a big thing. But you don't hear that talked about in these spaces,
Right.
exactly.
because
Yeah.
what's talked about is tits and ass.
On
That's what's
TNA.
talked about,
Good old
which I go
TNA.
back to what I said before. The
Right.
only fanification of Passport Bros, trademark, but that's what it is. So, and then about you networking with people in other countries. On our last trip, we met a guy that was interested in Americans investing in marijuana because there's a big push in South Africa and Zimbabwe to get that market up and running. And when we attended the seminar that they had there, the majority of people that were there were white people, and we in South Africa. But they're trying to put their people in place. Now, the young gentleman we met from Zimbabwe, he was a black dude, and he gave us a lot of game. But those are the type of people that you meet when you travel, when you go and you experience something other than tits and ass. Because that convention wasn't on our schedule. It just happened to be there at the time that we were there. So we attended and we were able to get that information. And the same thing when we were in Cape Town. There was an Africon is a conference, IT conference, and one of the guys on the trip, he had the opportunity to not only meet some people there at the conference, but they invited him to their house in Cape Town. So he was able to make a connection based on us providing the opportunity for you to explore your options on a trip. These are things that we want to talk about and discuss, because if you are really talking about doing this, you're going to have those type of connections. You're not going to be able to do it on your own. Too far and too long, black men, especially here in America, they want to be the HNIC. Every other group of men don't operate like that.
Facts.
Which is why we still are in the position that we are, and nothing has changed. So for us, we want to change that narrative within our group, because we can't control what other people do. If you want to come and make a network and create something, fine. But from what we've been seeing in the past 2.5 years, people only care about being the HNIC. Cool, be the HNIC. Get your clicks and views, which goes back to what I said before, the only fanification of Passport Bros.
Facts.
That's the only thing you're about. You don't have any substance. Here we're providing substance. And that question that you ask is a damn good question, because nobody's talking about it.
Exactly.
How is that going to affect your dollar? Because a lot of things that people don't understand is that, you being able to live a better life overseas is predicated on the value of that dollar versus their currency.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're not doing something now to hedge against that, now, is it going to happen overnight? No.
Yeah.
But there's enough surrounding it to see something is getting pushed in that direction, because they want to get away from the dollar because it's strangling their economies.
Exactly. And the United States is just, we're the worldwide bully. So we're hated all over the place. You know what I'm saying? The dollar's been used to, keep a foot on the neck of countless countries. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And my understanding is that there's a BRICS conference in South Africa coming up, and
Yes.
that
June.
they're going to introduce the first BRICS digital currency in August.
I was about to say that.
So the dollar ain't going to go away overnight, but it's going to happen faster than I think any of us anticipate.
Well, to piggyback on that, you know what I mean? Because I was actually about to get into that. To piggyback off of that, I wouldn't be necessarily worried about, the dollar being like destroyed, quickly overnight, like you said. That's why you want to have your hand in as many pots as possible.
Right,
because
crazy.
whatever's coming, you're going to see it coming. You're going to hear it coming. As long as you are with the network and you're around brothers who are talking this kind of talk, they're going to say, China is trying to go ahead and make their own digital currency. That's going to be the backbone of the BRICS currency, what they're trying to do. Basically, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to back everything up by a digital, kind of like a digital yen, which is what a lot of these countries are signing up to trade with. So all you have to do really is look at what's coming and then say, okay, well, let me start investing a little bit into this, putting money here. Say, okay, well, let me just go ahead and put $100 on this and see what happens. Let me put $100 on this and see what happens. They say, oh, this coin is finna come out. Let me put $200 on that coin if it's finna be that valuable, and let's see how it rocks. in general, when it comes to investing in crypto and anything like that, even forex, you only will use the money that you're not really looking to use on bills or anything. So your residuals you already have, stuff like this, $50, $100. Go ahead and put that to the side and put it on a coin. See what happens. It went up a little bit. All right, maybe you can put a little more. When you get enough, take back your initial investment. So everything after that, you're only playing with the house's money. So every time after that, every time it hits, you got your original paper back, and everything you make is a plus.
Yep.
So that's exactly how you would roll with that. So
Yeah.
don't let them scare
But
you.
the thing is with America, and if you traveled as much as we have, America have blinders on. And I'll take the food situation. We got now. Everybody talking about there's a food shortage. They showing in the news how there's all empty kind of shelves. People running for toilet paper. Man, we went to Thailand and they had a bountiful of food. So America, we have the tendency to want to think that if it's happening here, it's happening everywhere, which is a total lie. So when you do go out and you travel and you see all these fruit stands, you see all these fish, you see all this abundance of agriculture and meat. You have to get out and then it'll balance. Those scales will balance where you can think clearly and say, okay, I'm in the matrix. This is how they operate. But I've been outside the matrix and I know how they operate. And you'll have a better plan for self-sustention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it all begins with being around like-minded brothers, because we can have this conversation, and I'm pretty sure mostly everybody in the chat understands exactly what we're talking about in one way, shape, or form. But if you go to somebody else's channel where they just focus on tits and ass, and you start talking about, well, how is that going to affect my dollar, my purchasing power, if the dollar is no longer valued? And they're going to look at you with a blank face because it doesn't come across to them, because they're short-term thinkers. They're living for the now and the clicks and views. They're not long-term, which lets you know they're not really serious about exploring their options. They're just here for the sensationalism.
Yeah.
Well, let all that tits and ass run out like the food they say. Them fools is going to go nuts.
Well,
Ain't no tits and ass.
well, yeah. Well, you know,
That's all they care about.
that's an abundance.
It's a shortage
over
on booty.
Yeah, no, it ain't a shortage of booty over here. We got plenty of linebackers and middle and middle pulling guards and centers over here. There's plenty of tits and ass over here. Actually, it's too much.
Yeah, it's
So-
an oversized abundance.
Yeah,
But
most
that's
definitely.
that's what you call a bad crop.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a bad crop. So
Facts.
Yeah, it's definitely concerning, and I believe this. Well, seeing as how things are, as the U.S. is absolutely not going to let these other nations try to outdo it. You know, right now I believe this. They're planning something.
Well,
They're planning something.
well, see, this is
Yeah,
the
but
thing.
does it benefit us is the question.
Right.
Probably
You have to
not.
look. Yeah, exactly. They're pivoting because they're trying to fight two wars. They're trying to fight a war within the country. They're fighting for the minds of the people, which you're starting to see the people push back. And then you're trying to fight a war abroad, which, like Chris said earlier, my fault, not Chris. Mocha Man said earlier, the United States has been a bully. People are tired of getting bullied, and you've been bullying everybody with the dollar, making them use that currency for to do cross border payment with their currency using the SWIFT system. So now, if I don't have to use your system, then I don't need your dollar, and if I don't need your dollar to buy and trade goods, then that decreases the value for us. And if you're somebody that's traveling depending on the dollar being valued against the currency in the country that you're in, and all of a sudden overnight your dollar is worthless or less than what you're used to, you could be in a precarious situation if you haven't planned for that. So those are things that we take seriously over here, and we look at. We talk amongst ourselves, and you're going to start seeing more of that type of content, because for us, that's an important aspect of you exploring your options. are you going to be able to sustain yourself when you go overseas? If you have strictly a income for retirement based on the U.S. dollar, and the United States, me personally, I don't think they can stop it.
I don't think so.
I think they've let it go for too long. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, no financial advice, but from the stuff that I've seen and being in other countries, it's like the fix is in. The United States has squandered a lot of opportunities to try to maintain power, and when you have the administrations that we've had that have poor relations with people overseas, especially on the continent, you're starting to see the pushback there. Then you're starting to see the decline of a civilization. I mean, we can't even tell the difference between a man or a woman.
Right.
That's how far gone we've gone. And you think
spent too much time trying to suppress us?
Right. That's why I said you can't fight a war on two fronts.
Nope.
And right now they're starting to lose the war. And if you don't think that's the case, you start looking at two things. The democratic cities that are taking these immigrants are now pushing back, saying they don't want those people. Right. And you're starting to see advertisers like Budweiser's taking major L's that they can't recover from. Why? Because people have had enough. And you can't fight that war. You're still trying to fight that war here, and then you think you're going to go overseas and try to push that same agenda? And you see the African countries, they're telling you to basically F off. We have the resources. Why are we using U.S. dollars when we have the resources?
Right.
So those are things that us as black men that are traveling, exploring our options, know and see is like, yo, we need to start getting into crypto. Oh, they're going to be doing cross-border payments. Oh, but they're going to be using their own currency. Oh, that's XRP.
Easy.
That's XRP. Oh, no wonder the people in the United States don't want XRP to be used, because it circumvents the dollar, which goes back to what we were saying. That's why you can't buy it here in the United States on exchanges here. You have to go through and maneuver and stuff and whatnot. But that's another stream. But just to give you information and heads up, that's a conversation that you don't hear Passport Bros talk about.
That's very vital to wherever you live.
Yep.
All right. Another thing, I'm still looking for. You said Theo Waff and his IT courses. I've been asking around and whatnot.
Did you hold on? I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna send you the link. I'm gonna put the link in the chat for the masterclass. Hold on. I'm gonna put the link for the masterclass Facebook group, and they should be able to get you all the information that you need. Hold on.
Yeah.
Here it is right here. The Manosphere Masterclass Meetup. I am about to put the link in the chat right here. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and you can go join that group, and that will send you to the class that you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody that doesn't know about this is there's a YouTuber in association with Mumia Masid Ali. I think that's it. Obsidian, and they have a master class, and their goal is to have 250 men certified in IT in the next 5 years, and they've already reached a certain segment. They've reached a milestone of 125 brothers that have already ran through that class.
Yeah.
And
right.
Yep. So
that's fantastic. That's what I'm talking about.
So and I know you were looking for his information. So
yes, beginning IT or how to get into it or whatnot. How much does it cost and everything.
Yep. So that link right there will take you straight to the Facebook group. Answer the question, and they'll admit you in, and then you can get all your questions answered.
Yeah. My understanding, I think there is no cost, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
It's just
Yep.
for the books.
Yeah,
That's
just
what
for the
Theo
books.
says. If you can get the books, Theo basically says he'll train you up, put you through it, and he's already talked about how he's pushed. I can't remember his last numbers. He said like 10 or 12 of his students, he's already pushed them into six figures.
Yeah.
Brothers, black men who have signed up since they first started doing the Manosphere meetups. So about year and a half, 2 years about now.
Yeah.
Since Theo Waff has been doing this, he has pushed brothers into the six-figure range via his classes specifically. So it is there and it can be done.
Yep. So there's the information for you, and you know what? I'm gonna try to reach out to him and see if I can get him on.
All right.
That's an important aspect of what we're trying to do here. We want to give you as many options as possible. We want to put you together with this person, that person, and like I said, we don't have all the answers, but at least if you ask the questions, we can see if we can find the answers for you, and that's what a network group does.
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm there now. I'm gonna sign up and whatnot. Thank you for the information, guys. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
That's what we're here for, brother.
That's what we do.
Thanks.
All right, man. You take care. We'll talk to you
All is
later.
well. Y'all as well.
All right, brother. Be good.
Peace.
I can't promise you that.
Yeah. So
It's called
hopefully,
networking.
yeah,
Networking.
exactly. All right. So, yeah. So once again, you seen it right there. We're able to get that information to that man, and hopefully he'll be over his way, and he'll be making six figures by the end of the year. And shout out to Theo for doing that. That's a wonderful thing, especially if he's not charging anybody for it. You just have to pay the cost for your books, dude. You can't beat that. And those are the type of brothers we really want on our team. So,
Exactly.
I reach out to him and see if I can, maybe do an interview. But we want to be able to expose our members and people of like-mindedness as much as possible to opportunities like that. So
That's what we do. Put the
exactly what
information
we
out.
do.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Not trying to be YouTube celebrities, you know what I'm saying, like that. It's
Man,
just,
look here.
just out here putting out the information, man.
Don't care about none of that.
Look. It's okay if all you want to do is be famous. That's cool. I'm not knocking anybody for what they want to do, but this is what we want to do. Now, can we do both? Yeah, but that's not our goal to be famous. I don't need to be recognized. I got Coach Grease for that. I don't have to worry about nobody recognizing us. All I gotta do is put coach in the front, and they're gonna recognize him. So let him be the front man. We discuss that all the time with Coach anyway, But in the meantime, in between time, he knows that we support him in everything that he does, and he supports us, and that's how.
That's what makes us so different.
Yeah, we have a great synergy.
We not worried about who gets the most carries or who's making the most threes. We a team, so our we have egos because we're men of distinction, but good leaders know how to follow also.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what it boils down to. But you gotta have some camaraderie on downtime. And that's where, when you're on these events with us, you see the camaraderie. And, on the last trip we had great camaraderie. We had guys from different backgrounds that were able to come together and move in a way that you just don't see. You don't see black men moving like that. Like when we went out to eat at the weekend market, and they seen all of us, and they see us because we're a lot bigger and stuff. They want to say, well, damn, are y'all a football team? And I told them, no, we just eat good. We just eat good. We eat good.
How much of bodybuilders? Hell yeah.
No, but seeing us in mass, seeing us when it's 15 and 20 of us, they want to look and see, like, wow, because they're not used to seeing that, especially us being American.
Mm-hmm.
So those are things you just pick up on. And that's the benefit of being on our event. Now, I know some dudes, they want to do solo travel and do the solo thing, and that's cool. I commend you on that. But if you want to take it to the next level, you just got to come up step up and get with BMO. That's just it.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Let me see what's going on in this chat. Oh, my man Iman Perry. Yeah, XLM too. All that stuff is coming. And like I said, we got a show coming up with crypto. We got a couple of people that do crypto and whatnot in our group, and we want to start showcasing them.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that we want to move more towards. Maybe we don't get as many views, but if you look at Charles's previous channel, a lot of his content was about passive income or being able to have side income so that you can make the move outside the matrix, or being able to be a digital nomad and whatnot, and being able to take advantage of the leverage of your dollar in some of these countries, because every country is not going to jump off the dollar just like that. And even some of the countries that are still trying to use and develop another currency, they're not going to be able to just get off of it either. So there's still an opportunity for us to still be able to leverage our dollar and move in a different direction when we move in these countries.
Mm-hmm.
But the time is now, and we have to be able to take advantage of it. So
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't be overly concerned about, what the Fed is trying to do, stuff like this. Like, they're at this point, they're on the defense playing catch up. Because, the BRICS is formulated, BRICS has made these moves, and I think as black men, for us, it's best to keep, like I said, our hands in multiple pots. So if they want to shift over to XRP, we're already on that. If they want to shift over to a digital coin backed by the yen, hell, we on that. If the dollar gets stronger out of all this, well, guess what? We already
on that too, right?
So
exactly.
it's just like, that's what I'm saying. You're never gonna be caught, on your heels. You're never gonna be caught, like slacking. You're always gonna be in front of and head of the game. So if you go to a different country, you're like, oh well, we don't take your dollar here. Well, you take the XRP, don't you? Let me go ahead and pull out this digital wallet on your ass then. Let me pop this XRP on you, show you how I'm balling like that. So, I mean, regardless, either way, as long as you got your hands in multiple spots, for the most part, you're going to be good as long as you're knowledgeable about what's going on. Just knowing about BRICS, knowing that the moves that BRICS is making, that's what's going to keep you ahead of the game. So when it comes time for you to travel to a certain country, and you got your XRP, XLM is up, your Bitcoin is even up. Hell, and I've said it before, I said it again. My last trip that we went on to Brazil, when we all went, that was funded by Bitcoin. That was purely Bitcoin. Not how I was moving around, everything. I had the Bitcoin. I was like, shit, my next trip is going to be off this Bitcoin then. Let's go. So I didn't even have to touch my actual money. I just went down to Brazil, hung out with the boys, and did my thing off of Bitcoin.
Yep. And see, that's what I'm talking about. The opportunities are there, but people in this space, are we really exploring that? And I can say there's probably a few, but not enough. But at the same time, this is an opportunity for us to go into uncharted waters. Say, hey, this is what we want. If you want to live overseas, we want to be able to take advantage of that. We want to be able to have a different life. We know, okay, we want to move here. There's a possibility of our currency might not be worth as much in the future. What can I do now to hedge against that?
Exactly.
So that I can continue to live a certain level and lifestyle while I'm in that country.
Yeah. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So
that's right.
That's what we own.
That's what it is.
You know what I mean?
Say it again, Mocha man.
If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. That's BMO. That's where we at.
There it is. Stay ready, you got to get ready. So, well, all right, man. I tell you what, if anybody wants to come up, say a couple of things, I'm gonna let it run for a little bit. But if not, we're gonna end this show. And I just want to thank everybody for coming out. But like I said, first and foremost, thank you again for all our subscribers. It means a lot to us. It really does.
Absolutely.
It helps. It helps further the things that we want to do as a group, and it gets more people to have a peek and see what BMO has to offer. If you haven't before, please like, share, and subscribe to this stream. I want to thank prominent YouTubers that have come through tonight and have dropped a little bit of knowledge and whatnot. Shout out to MOT, because he definitely somebody I've been following for a long time. My man Jay Clyde, him and the Runway Boys. Hey man, y'all keep doing y'all thing.
Yeah, man.
Uh, who else was somebody else that I wanted to say? Oh, and definitely, Edward Anderson. I can't say it before. I said it again. Edward has been a big supporter of us, and that is definitely much appreciated.
Yes, he is.
Matter of fact, we're gonna have to get Ed on that South Africa trip.
Let's get him
We gotta
out.
get Ed, look at Ed on that South Africa trip.
That
He
would
can
be
go. He
something.
can go. Hey, look, he can go live from the. He can go live from the safari, talking shit.
Exactly.
I see a hyena right here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. Well, I'll shoot the word out to Ed then. You know what I mean? I'll shoot I'll shoot the word out and see
Yeah.
if
But
see if you want to come up.
but like I did say, our next trip is South Africa. This is the unofficial launch. I have given the dates, and probably in the next 2 weeks we'll have the official release, and we do imagine it's going to be sold out relatively quick, because of the last Thailand trip we had was sold out, and we didn't have near as much interest as we do now. And I think a lot of people are really wanting to make this journey to the motherland. Some have never been. It's gonna be my third time, and I'm gonna get indoctrinated, find out my bloodline, and I'm gonna go ahead and claim I'm Zulu for the most part. For the most part, anyway.
Salute.
All right. Well, we don't see anybody coming up. I'm gonna go ahead and end this for tonight. Once again, I appreciate everybody coming out and supporting. Look for new content coming out from us, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys supporting us. And
Yeah.
we thank you. The admin thank you, and definitely Charles looking up from above thanks you too as well, because his legacy is intact and will be moving forward. So I'm gonna let our guest say a few words, and then we're gonna close out for tonight. Let me first start with Mocha Man, because I know he's gonna say something very articulate. Go ahead, Mocha Man, say something. Hey, look, I got you before G did. Go ahead.
I was waiting.
I don't have much to say, but I mean, absolutely, we do thank everyone that has subscribed to our channel, that's checking us out, that's rocking with us. There's going to be a lot more to come in the months ahead. Can't speak on anything, but we do have some big things planned.
Yes.
I didn't see, this, like I said earlier, I didn't see all this, back in, I guess, 2020,
Yeah, in 2020.
But now that it's taking shape, you know what I'm saying? I can see that it's going to be a lot bigger than what you see now. And that is a promise. So I'm excited about that. Like, share, subscribe, check us out, come to our Facebook group as well. You know what I'm saying? And, this is, this is where you're going to have the information you're going to need to change your life if you want to be part of this travel thing. I can stand on that because, I've been here since 2015,
That's right. Facts.
My life is entirely different. So
Way back.
Yeah. Telling on
that's it. That's all I got, Chief.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey, look here. Don't go anywhere, man. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna drop you off, but don't go anywhere.
You got it.
All right. All right. Who want to go next?
I'll go
let
ahead
me-
and say my piece.
Yeah, no, you go last. You know,
All right,
you
all right.
become- you bring up the six all the time,
Please,
man.
I got you.
I think Chris. Go ahead.
I don't have an air horn. You got the air horn.
All right.
But
problem.
no, man, I'm proud of us, man. I seen this because of the quality of guys we had and the quality of guys that we're getting and retaining. We always get, some pebbles when we searching for gold, but that's okay. That's part of the process. But we got them thousands straight from the mud, man, and they're solid. So our foundation is real solid. I'm very proud of that.
All right, man. Hey, yeah, appreciate you coming up tonight, man. Don't go anywhere. We got the after show, after party.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's right.
All right, Chris, go ahead, man.
Well, basically, like you said, man, shout out to everybody who's been subscribing, who's been supporting the channel, who's been supporting BMO. You know what I mean? It's been a long time coming for the group. You know what I mean? I'm a newer member. I'm not the newest member, but, still, you know, it's still good to be around like-minded brothers, like-minded individuals, and everybody who's been supporting, like you said, you know, from the Facebook groups to, you know, to the channel, to everything that's been going on, brothers who've been on the trips, you know, a lot of the new guys who've been coming in. It's just great to see the growth, man. It's great to see the growth, the structure, everybody who is here, who is looking for something beyond, you know, what they think they see in the YouTube. You know, brothers who are out here actually trying to see, like, yo, what can we learn? What can we use to help us go forward and, you know, continue to be better travelers? You know, things like that. You know what I mean? And, you know, first of all, don't let anybody, you know, don't let Steve fool y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Steve is famous because one video that everybody shows where Charles Tyler is
talking to Keisha.
For Keisha on the beach. That's Mr. Steve is the one who's standing there right there in the red Hawaiian shirt. You know, he's legendary, but he just don't like to talk about it. That's him standing in that video with Charles, and they go there toe to toe with that Keisha warrior. So just so y'all know that brother, he's YouTube famous. He just don't like to brag about it. But other than that, man, shout out to everybody who's been supporting y'all. Keep supporting the channel. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. Appreciate it, Chris.
Yeah, man.
Hold on, let me my producer, he gonna move my last segment. There you go. Man, that dude, man, salute out to Jamel around the world, man. That's our super producer in the background. He handles all the transitions and all the graphics and stuff, man. Dude has been an excellent addition to the admin team, and we definitely want to salute you on that, because I personally don't have time to do all this crazy stuff and don't know what the hell going on. So I appreciate you doing it, man. But last but not least, once again, thank you everybody for subscribing to the channel, supporting us. And as you see, we like to have fun over here, but at the same time, we are a brotherhood. We do believe in the things that we say on this channel, and we demonstrate that when you're around us. And everybody that has been on a group trip with us, that are around us, they see and feel it. Now, we don't get along all the time, but at the same time, we all know that we got to get along to get to where we want to get to. So with that being said, appreciate you brothers coming out. Y'all take care. Have a good night, and we'll see you next Sunday. All right.
Everybody in here was picked, selected, chosen. You are a difference maker. You are special. You are somebody. You're a conduit of change, and that's what we're going to do, change things. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later, right now. Everybody in here is a change agent. We could go down the line and every last one of you have a story how you provoke change wherever you've been in some form or fashion. It ain't no normal guys in here. Everybody's been through something, they come out of it, but you changed the game wherever you've been. Am I right or wrong? You just got to believe. I believe it. You got to believe it.